Nobody saw this coming. Everything may have just changed for the absolute worst. This could be the biggest mistake of someone's life, and the terrifying consequences are going to be measured in body bags. One of our most beloved untouchable heroes is currently bleeding out on the cold, unforgiving pavement, fighting for his last agonizing breath. Meanwhile, a ruthless monster is walking completely free, laughing at the chaos he left behind. If you thought the nightmare was over, you are dead wrong. The real terror is just getting started. We have to talk about Jen Sidwell. He was supposed to be neutralized. He was arrested, locked down, and entirely stripped of his power. The authorities thought they had him dead to rights. But here is where things get messy. Sidwell didn't just break out of a highly secure holding facility. He vanished. He evaporated like a ghost in the night. You do not pull off an escape of that magnitude without serious, high-level, deeply embedded help from the inside. The security cameras were blinded. The guards were misdirected. The entire system was hijacked. And that changes everything. The second the alarm bells rang, the entire city of Port Charles went into a frantic, terrifying lockdown. The WSB and the PCPD scrambled all their available assets. But they were already 10 steps behind a mastermind who sets deadly traps for fun. And who was leading the desperate charge to hunt this fugitive down? Dante Falconeri. Dante, the dedicated cop, the man who always puts his life on the line for his city. He didn't hesitate. He rushed straight into the fire, completely unaware that he was walking into a meticulously designed slaughterhouse. But wait, it gets worse. Dante wasn't just tracking a desperate fugitive on the run. He was being lured. The escape route was too perfect. The breadcrumbs were left too intentionally. The timing was too precise. When Dante finally cornered what he thought was Sidwell, in a dark, isolated alleyway, all hell broke loose. It wasn't an arrest operation. It was a brutal, calculated ambush designed to take out the PCPD's best man. Guys, this is where it gets interesting. Gunfire erupted from the shadows. Chaos swallowed the sea. And then the unthinkable happened. Dante took a hit. A bad one. We are talking critical, life-threatening, code blue trauma. The man who has survived mob wars, serial killers, and impossible odds is now lying in a pool of his own blood, his life slipping away by the millisecond. And then everything spiraled. Because the sickening realization hit the rest of the police force like a runaway freight train. Sidwell didn't just casually escape. He was expertly guided. Someone gave him the confidential blueprint. Someone handed him the patrol route. Someone exposed the blind spot. Someone handed Sidwell the literal keys to the city and left Dante Falconeri as the sacrificial lamb to cover their track. But that's not even the biggest surprise. The mole isn't some random, corrupt beat cop looking for a quick payday. The mole is someone hiding in plain sight. Someone entirely new. Someone we barely know but who has already embedded himself into the most vital fabric of Port Charles. Someone who holds the power of life and death in his hands every single day. Enter Dr. Tristan Robert. Nobody suspected him. He strutted into General Hospital during the monumental 16,000th episode, laying down strict rules, clashing fiercely with Britt Westbourne, and acting like he owned the entire medical facility. But what if Tristan isn't just an arrogant, hotshot surgeon? What if his entire medical persona is a brilliant, terrifying cover? What if Tristan is the architect of Dante's demise? Think about it. Tristan arrived right when the Sidwell chaos was reaching its absolute peak. We all thought he was just here for typical hospital drama and a potential enemies to lovers romance with Britt. That was a distraction, a brilliant misdirection. If you ask me, Tristan is the inside man. He is the phantom operative who facilitated the most dangerous prison break in recent history. Why would a highly respected doctor help a ruthless criminal like Sidwell? Money? Blackmail? Or maybe they belong to the exact same shadow organization. Tristan has unparalleled access. He can tap into secure networks, manipulate hospital pharmaceuticals, and access VIP patient files without raising a single red flag. He could have easily fed Sidwell the exact timeline of the police shift changes and the medical response protocol. What happened next may be even worse. Imagine the horrifying scene currently unfolding at General Hospital. Dante is rushed through the double doors on a gurney. Blood is everywhere. Pure panic echoes in the halls. Sonny Corinthos is losing his mind. Lulu is shattered, screaming for someone to save him. And who is the elite surgeon scrubbing in to save Dante's life? Tristan Robert? The irony is absolutely sickening. The man who likely orchestrated the bullet is now holding the scalpel. If Tristan is the mole, he didn't just help Sidwell escape. He actively facilitated the deadly ambush that put Dante on death's door. Now, Tristan is standing in the operating room, fully masked, staring down at his own victim. Is Tristan actively trying to save Dante to maintain his innocent doctor facade? Or is he going to make a tiny, untraceable surgical error to ensure Dante never wakes up to identify the shooter? The tension in that operating room is suffocating. Tristan's hands are literally covered in Dante's blood, and he holds all the cards. But Tristan isn't the only major player on this board. Jack Brennan is on the prowl, and he smells blood in the water. Brennan knows the WSB inside and out. He understands how double agents operate better than anyone. He knows that an escape, this flawless, this devastating, absolutely requires a rat. And Brennan is racing against the ticking clock. Brennan is tearing the city apart piece by piece. He is analyzing security footage, decrypting communications, and tracking burner phones. He knows Dante's ambush was a meticulously planned setup. And if you ask me, Brennan is getting dangerously, terrifyingly close to Tristan's hidden trail. It is a deadly game of cat and mouse, and the stakes have never been higher. Meanwhile, Dante is hovering in the agonizing space between life and death. If Dante dies, the entire landscape of Port Charles fractures beyond repair. Sonny will unleash a violent war the likes of which we have never seen. The police force will crumble. But if Dante miraculously lives, he becomes the single biggest threat to Tristan and Sidwell's entire shadow operation. Tristan knows this. You can see the ice cracking under his cool, arrogant exterior. He is playing God in that operating room. He has to perfectly balance saving a beloved cop to maintain his brilliant cover with the terrifying reality that the cop might remember something that ruins everything. One wrong move, and Tristan's entire life goes up in flames. Because if Tristan is secretly working for Sidwell, this isn't just about a simple prison escape. It is about a massive, hostile takeover of Port Charles. Sidwell is building a shadow army, and he is strategically planting his loyal soldiers in the most critical institutions of the city. The hospital is compromised. The police force is compromised. Nowhere is safe anymore. The fallout from this brutal ambush is going to be absolutely catastrophic. Everyone is looking over their shoulder. Trust is completely dead. Dante's bleeding body is a horrifying message to everyone in town. Nobody is untouchable. Not the cops. Not the mob bosses. Not the innocent civilian. Sidwell and his mole are pulling all the strings. Brennan is closing in. He is connecting the invisible dots. He sees the missing medical supplies that Sidwell needed. He sees the encrypted messages pinging off the hospital's secure servers. Brennan is about to kick down Tristan's door and expose the whole conspiracy. But will he be too late? Will Sidwell strike again while the entire city is distracted by Dante's critical condition? The monitors in the OR are flatlined. The alarms are screaming. Tristan is staring down at Dante, holding the ultimate power of life and death. Will he let the hero die to protect his own dark, twisted secret? A massive secret is about to be violently exposed. A beloved character is hovering on the brink of absolute destruction. A brilliant plan is teetering on the edge of total collapse. A lingering question remains completely unanswered. The clock is ticking down to 0, and the real nightmare has only just begun.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.